In this episode of Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour, we bring on a guest that we haven't seen in a long time. Disney bartender, a dude from Trader Sam's. So, one of the long-standing bartenders from Trader Sam's and Tiki bar at the Disneyland Hotel. I would like to welcome back onto the show, Mr. Kelly Merrell. Hey, dude.
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you too. What do you...
Ooh, hang on,
What in the world?
I get my stuff.
All right.
This is a professional show. I'm a professional bartender. Oh, God. What's that? I just felt like I needed a spoon.
Okay. So, how is Trader Sam's doing?
Trader Sam's is great. Trader Sam's is awesome. Always has been and always will be. And been there a long time. And I hope to be there for a long time going forward.
Have you seen any more celebrities there? That's like the biggest thing I'm interested in. Are celebrities like drinking at Trader Sam's?
I wish I really had a really good celebrity story, but I don't. I don't have a good celebrity story. Unless you count all the like YouTube influencers that come and they set up their little tripod and their camera and they...
Do they really?
Oh, yeah, we actually get that a lot. And
I'm blowing it.
Sometimes, you're not in the mood and you're like, I hope that that's just recording you, right? You're just live streaming, you're not recording me, and they're like, all right, well.
When was the last time you were on the show?
It's been about a year and a half. We did a couple Christmas episodes. Some hot zombies.
The hot zombie was delicious. We also did a comparison of Pearl Diver and the Pearl Diver Punch. Both incredible cocktails. Like a really fun episode, too. If you want to go back and watch that, I would suggest it highly.
I would, and I still get asked sometimes, even though it's been 2 years, I think, since we've done that episode. People still come in, they're like, hey, I saw you on Spike's show. Can you do the Pearl Diver Punch? And I'm like, no, I can't. I'm sorry.
No way.
It's that Gardenia mix, man. With that butter, it's too much. I can't do it.
Earlier, before we started recording or whatever, we had a couple of drinks, and invariably, every time I make a cocktail at home, it's almost always a daiquiri or like something simple like a Mai Tai or something. I never make a Pearl Diver for myself.
No, I can't imagine. Like, you come home from work, take your shoes off, watch a little TV. Maybe I'll make a Pearl Diver. Get the butter out.
Yeah,
and
start churning the butter.
I don't think anybody does that.
Right.
I mean, maybe some of your viewers do. Good for them.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah. So what are you bringing to the show tonight?
So tonight, we are going to do a very fun drink.
Okay.
We're going to do a Krakatoa, which might sound very, very familiar to people that might be familiar with where I work, and also familiar with maybe a certain drink that's in the grog log. Okay. But this one's a little bit different. Okay. This one is a drink that comes from Hallowed, terrific tiki bar in Portland.
That is a Martin Kate bar, right?
It is a Martin Kate bar,
absolutely. Which means super good.
And it is a play on a play on a play. So we are getting all into the plays here.
Say what? A play on a play on a play of what?
It starts with two drinks that you've actually done already.
Okay.
The Black Magic and the Mutiny.
Two of my absolute favorite cocktails from the incredible Mai Tai.
Fantastic, from the Mai Tai. You look in the grog log, and Jeff has a whole story about how he really wanted the recipe to those drinks. Couldn't get it. Maybe kind of figured it out a little bit. Maybe did a play on one of them called the Krakatoa. And he called it the Krakatoa.
Why do you call it the Krakatoa?
Because it's a volcano and it sounds tiki. I don't know.
Oh.
Because.
All right.
Years later, it showed up on the hallowed menu.
Okay.
Many years later. The inventor of the cocktail is a bit of a mystery. And over the past couple days, I've actually done some sleuthing.
Really?
To figure it out. And I'd never really got a really great answer.
Okay.
So the recipe was brought to me by one of my dear friends, Damien Montanil, who you know.
Who will be on the show eventually here pretty soon, talking about special effects in tiki bars.
He is a special effects master.
Yes.
He is also a regular at Trader Sam's.
We're talking about turning the fountain, with the volcano pond, into like a Bellagio show.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
Okay, go on.
I know, that's all I can think about. So, he brought me this recipe. He was going, hey, I got this recipe, jalapeno drink. It's the Krakatoa, not the Trader Sam's Krakatoa, but a different Krakatoa. And, let's make it. It sounds really good. And it's delicious. So, and he said it's a jalapeno drink. When I thought of, hey, we should make this drink on your show. So I want to give credit where credit is due. So I first go check my grog log, and I go look, and I realize, oh, that's That's a Jeff drink. That's a beach bum berry recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, not the recipe that we're making today.
Oh.
The recipe I have is completely different.
Okay.
The same elements are there. You can see where the lineage is.
So it's not a beach bum berry drink.
It is not a beach bum berry drink.
Okay.
Inspired by, not it. So I think, okay, Holly Pele, let me give Martin Kate a ring. So
Well, this guy knows Martin Kate.
Sorry. So I send Martin a message. Martin, I'm going to be on Spike's show, and we're going to make a Holly Pele's Krakatoa, and I want to make sure I can give credit where credit is due. Is this your recipe? Is it Blair Reynolds, who was a part of Holly Pele? And
is that BG Reynolds?
And yes, BG Reynolds.
BG Reynolds cocktail syrups.
Wow.
Not sponsored yet, Blair.
So Martin writes back, he goes, no, it's not my recipe. And he goes, I'm pretty sure it's not Blair's recipe.
Okay.
Maybe it's Mindy Kukin. Mindy Kukin was a bartender there quite some time ago. Not there anymore. She lives in Texas now.
Mindy Kukin?
Mindy Kukin. Yep. Pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right.
Okay.
Fantastic bartender.
I'm sure.
Reached out to her. Haven't heard back. Mindy. So I decided to get a hold of Shelly. Shelly Bowers, Heavy Metal Shelly.
Shelly was one of our bartenders at Bootlegger Tiki in Palm Springs. She has since moved to...
She is doing a very upscale, independent thing at the moment
Okay.
that I'm aware of. Shelly's awesome.
Great
So I
person.
send Shelly a message. Shelly, is this Krakatoa recipe, is it yours? Do you know where it comes from? This and that? She said, maybe it's Blair's. And I said, well, Martin said it's already not Blair's.
Now we're going in circles.
And she goes, honestly, I don't know where the recipe came from, and it's not even on their menu anymore.
Oh,
So we are making mystery drink.
right. And the only
so-
place you can get this drink now is in your living room. If you follow these short instructions.
Yes, indeed. So we're making a Krakatoa from Holly Pele, which was invented by somebody.
And for this cocktail, we will be using grapefruit juice, lime juice, orange juice, passion fruit syrup,
By Liquid Alchemist.
cinnamon syrup, Angostura bitters, absinthe, Mount Gay gold rum, Demerara 86 from Hamilton, Mr. Black cold brew coffee liqueur, and Kahlua. So let's get started making this cocktail. How do we begin this whole thing?
We're going to begin this like we begin all cocktails with non-alcoholic ingredients first. And why do we do non-alcoholic ingredients first?
Because if you mess up, you're not throwing out your Kahlua.
Boom. To start this cocktail, we're going to make Don's Mix.
Okay, and what's Don's Mix?
Don's Mix, most famously found in the Zombie, is grapefruit and cinnamon syrup.
Okay.
2 parts grapefruit, 1 part cinnamon syrup.
Okay.
And we're going to need 1 ounce of Don's Mix per cocktail.
Right.
So we're going to make up our batch first, just kind of make it on the fly. You don't need a whole bottle of it. We're going to do 1.5 ounces of grapefruit juice
Okay.
and 3/4 ounce of cinnamon syrup, which will give us 2.25 ounces. So there'll be a little bit of waste, but it just makes the math easier. Let's start with our citrus. This should be enough for at least 1 cocktail, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of juice in grapefruit. Why don't you cut it? You're the professional.
You got new knives. These aren't those ceramic ones anymore.
It's a shoon.
These are like fancy ones that got waves in them.
Be very careful. You'll cut your hand off. I cut a white grapefruit the wrong way one time, and Ed Hamilton will not leave me alone about it. It's like, yeah, I know. Real funny, Ed.
Obviously, when you've got citrus this size, we're not going to put this in the juicer. I'm going to cut these in quarters. It's going to make it a little bit easier on us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right. I mean, what hand juicer do you have that's going to fit that?
It's called my hand.
Oh, I'm sorry, Constantino. We're gonna.
Wow.
That's a deep dive.
That is
If whoever gets that, leave it in the comments below.
That's a very good point. Leave it in the comments
So
below.
you can do hand. It's your show. You can do hand style. That's okay. When I squeeze citrus at home, if it's this big, I'll cut it in quarters. That way, it'll actually fit in the juicer.
Yeah, that makes
And
a lot
I
of sense.
always have one of my big ass juicers on hand
It's
too.
a big ass juicer. Yeah, I've found that with white grapefruit, it's easy enough just to squeeze the whole thing by hand. But let's see your technique.
Sure. Okay.
You've already gone to the trouble of cutting this into quarters.
Yes, I know. It took a very long time.
I always get so excited about how much.
Oh, sorry, that was a little
Professional.
premature.
I swear to God, this never happens. So how much are we doing?
1.5 ounces of grapefruit.
Okay. Can I smell that? Cinnamon.
Confirmed.
And how much of this?
3/4 ounce.
Okay.
Guess what?
What? Oh, the reason for the spoon.
You know how to stir a cocktail? Did I ever teach you how to stir a cocktail? Now this is not a cocktail. We're not stirring. Like this?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to push it away. Pull it forward. Push. Pull.
Oh.
Back of the spoon to the back of the tin. Have you ever done a stirred cocktail on your show?
Yes.
Okay.
And I kind of know how to do that, but So, like this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a poodle barking.
So these, yeah, your bottom two fingers are pushing and your top two fingers are pulling. Yeah.
I got it. Pro tip.
I'm a mixologist.
Okay.
Don't ever call me that.
No? You don't like that?
No. So we're going to have 1 ounce of this in each cocktail, as we said before. Because this is a hefty cocktail, this is a fairly large amount. Mm-hmm. We're not exactly sure if 2 are going to fit in 1 tin, so we're going to do these in separate tins.
Okay.
So we've got 1 ounce, 1 ounce of Don's Mix.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
1 ounce of Don's Mix. Now lime juice. We're going to do 1 ounce of lime juice. This version of this recipe is actually pretty simple. Most of it is all 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. We're going to do a couple of half-ounce adjustments, but yeah, not too bad.
Have you had this drink before?
Yes, I have. Actually, you know what? I've straw tested this drink many times. I don't think I've ever drank an entire cocktail. Now I'm even more excited. Okay.
Yeah, me too. And how much lime juice per cocktail?
1 ounce.
Can't you squeeze multiple limes in that big-ass thing?
I guess I've never thought about it. I'm not in a real hurry.
I am.
It'd be awesome if this thing just snapped right now.
Oh.
Might need another lime. We'll see.
I got faith in this half of the lime.
This is the biggest half.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ha, ha, ha.
1 ounce per cocktail.
All right, now let's do some orange juice. I'm gonna cut this a little bit. Oh, see, now that's just much easier. Yeah, got a little squirt there, didn't you? Hey, bartending's dangerous, man.
So 1 ounce of orange juice per cocktail?
1 ounce per cocktail.
Okay.
All right, now some passion fruit syrup. We're going to use Liquid Alchemist passion fruit syrup.
Not sponsored.
But they're a great group, and it's a good product.
1 ounce per cocktail?
1 ounce. Now let's do some bitters. Angostura bitters.
So you were the one who basically taught me how to do the bitters pour.
A dash.
Yeah, yes, a dash.
You don't let it dribble. You do it like you mean it.
Right.
And this one, we're only going to need one dash in each cocktail. Dash.
Mm-hmm.
Dash.
Right. All the way up, all the way down.
Yeah.
Also, you're going to get more of a dash out of that giant bottle, too.
You're going to get a lot less out of a dash out of a full bottle than you will out of like a half-empty bottle.
Right.
Just because of physics. Because of the amount of air that can be released or not released coming out of the bottle sometimes.
Right.
When I open a new bottle of bitters, I'll often shake it 10 or 20 times just to get the first couple of dribbles out. That way I'll get a more consistent dash out. A lot of bars will decant their bitters. So they'll decant into a bitters bottle like this, except maybe a much bigger one.
Right.
That way you're getting a consistent dash each and every time.
I see.
And that's great. I'm just not that fancy.
And it looks better.
It does look cool.
If you decant it.
It looks super cool.
Never heard that word before in my life.
The decant?
Until right now. Yeah.
I can't say that I've ever heard that word before. Yeah.
What's the next ingredient?
So now we have absinthe in the decanter. So we're going to do 1/8 of a teaspoon, 6 drops, a dash. I use an eyedropper at work. I use an eyedropper at home. I'll usually do a full vial of the eyedropper.
Okay.
So we're going to do about 3.
You don't actually do the drops out of that?
I do not do the drops out of that. I personally, and you guys can argue about it if you want, I personally think the drops thing is inconsistent because what's a drop? A drop out of an eyedropper and a drop out of this are two incredibly different things.
Oh, okay.
I think in some of the older recipes that call out 1/8 of a teaspoon, that's the best one.
Right.
I've measured out the eyedropper that I use at home and I use at work, and it comes out a full pull from a full eyedropper. It's just about 1/8 of a teaspoon, so that's what I go with. Okay. Right now we're kind of eyeballing with this because I saw that first dash come out. I thought, oh, okay, I think we need a little bit more than that. So I kind of did that. That's just because I've done this before. If you want to be consistent, I always advise measuring.
Okay.
So I've always described bartending and making cocktails a lot more closely aligned with baking than cooking.
Totally.
You have to be a little bit more precise. But also, if you think you just want a little dash this, a little dash that, you can probably get away with that too.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to move to some of our alcohol components. So the Holly Paley recipe that was given to me, it calls for a ½ ounce of cold brew coffee. Where I work, we don't have cold brew coffee, so I use Mr. Black.
I like Mr. Black.
It was okay. For some reason, I just thought it didn't have it was something missing. Even though that's a very strong coffee liqueur, obviously, there was some sweet component that I felt like I wish it had.
Oh, okay.
So along with the ½ ounce of Mr. Black, I also added a ½ ounce of Kahlua, which is a bottle I don't pick up very often, and it worked. If anyone from Holly Paley is watching this, I'm sorry, but it tasted really, really good. I bet the cold brew version is great as well, but today we're doing my version. So it's a play on a play on a play on a play.
Right. Also, I don't think you're going to offend anybody because nobody invented this. It just showed up one day.
It showed up in a basket, it floated up on the side of a river. So we're going to start with Mr. Black, cold brew coffee liqueur, which I believe has a bit of vodka in it as well. And we're going to do a ½ ounce per cocktail. A little bit too much. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, that's yours. Now do mine right.
Do yours right. Without pour spouts looking down on your tiptoes. That's how we do it. There you go.
That's true. You are used to pour spouts, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody with their building up their home bar or already has a very nice home bar, invest in some nice pour spouts, some nice metal pour spouts. It's fantastic. Even on bottles you don't use very often. I find if I'm just going to do a teaspoon of something and I use it once in a blue moon, put that pour spout on there and it makes it pouring that much, much easier.
But you can't store them like that.
I wouldn't.
Sounds like a bit of a hassle to me.
Yeah. All right, we're doing ½ ounce for each cocktail. Kahlua is the second most popular spirit from Mexico.
It's from Mexico?
Yeah.
Huh.
How about that?
So this is going to be a very coffee kind of forward, coffee flavored, coffee tinged.
Coffee tinged is more. It's not coffee forward, coffee tinged. Yes, absolutely. You don't even want to describe it. We're just going to taste it. All right, now to our rums. Guess what? How many ounces do you think we're going to do of each rum? One. Such a simple recipe to remember. We'll start with our Milky Eclipse.
I think a lot of times people hear that there's coffee in a cocktail and they go, "What, dude? I'm not interested." And to be honest, some of the best cocktails that I've ever encountered, we're going to need that again, sir, are coffee-infused cocktails.
Coffee-infused cocktails, coffee-flavored cocktails are pretty big right now. I feel like we're coming to the end of the life of the second incarnation, the second era of the espresso martini. Okay. Still, coffee-flavored cocktails are pretty popular. And this one fits right in.
Hey, Kelly Merrell.
What?
What do you got in your hand there?
Oh, sorry. Pretty stiff cork there, isn't it?
All right.
A nice hard cork.
Okay. So, is that the end of the drink?
This is the end of our build. With exception, of course, of the most important ingredient, ice.
Oh. I thought it was going to be love.
Love and ice.
Okay, so how much ice do we want to do in each tin?
I don't have an exact ice amount for this. I generally go to 8 ounces. That's my go-to default for tiki drinks is 8 ounces of crushed ice.
Okay.
And then you can always top with crushed ice afterwards.
One of the interesting things that I find from my friend Leandro is that his whole thing is that he's like, well, especially when he's shaking, get rid of the ice in the tin.
Get rid of the ice in the tin?
Like shake till the ice is melted.
If that's the way he prefers it, sure. I think that's probably too much dilution. If you're going to shake till the ice is gone with crushed ice, just blend it. That's what the blender's for.
Oh, right.
We're going to blend until the ice is gone. More or less. Pebble ice with the top-down spindle blender. Yeah. It's not going to pulverize and go completely away. Okay. But that's why I would think of it. If you're going to shake down till the ice is gone shaking, that sounds like a lot of shaking, but that's just me. It's the same thing I tell people that make cocktails at home. Do whatever you want. All right, shall we? 10 seconds. Already looks good. All right.
Okay, so we have our cocktails mixed. We're gonna go ahead and pour these into snifters. Oh, you want to do it at the same time?
Yeah.
How exciting. And then we top it off the rest of the way with ice.
These are giant snifters. They're really big snifters.
Thank you.
These are the biggest snifters I've ever seen.
No, you've been to the Mai Kai.
Okay, that's a good point.
Okay.
All right.
So because this is the Krakatoa, right? We're going to do a little bit of a fire element.
They think it's the loudest noise that's ever happened, like in Earth ever.
Is the eruption of Krakatoa? Really?
Yeah, you could
fact.
hear it hundreds of miles away.
Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a sugar cube in a spent lime shell. Now, if you refer back to the fire episode of Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour, we learned that bread works better. A little bit of toast. But we're going to do it with the sugar cubes.
Sure.
Sugar's fun.
Yeah.
All right. A little bit of lemon extract. I want to remind everybody that this episode is sponsored by Tiki Farm. Tiki Farm is the largest manufacturer of tiki products, barware, all kinds of fun things. Go to tikifarm.com, check out their new mugs, all kinds of fun stuff. You like Tiki Farm?
Love Tiki Farm.
I don't think that Tiki Farm can say that their products are used at a certain Disney cocktail bar.
I'm not sure they're allowed to say that their products are used at a certain Disney cocktail bar.
So we won't say that here.
No, I'm not going to let anybody know.
Yeah. Visit tikifarm.com. Check out their latest offerings. All right. A little bit of fire. You like my fire thing?
That's pretty good.
Oh, like a professional. Give it a little spray. Can we put some cinnamon on this too?
Yeah.
Go. Whoa!
Yeah. Just checking. That was a good one.
And so, from the Jalapele, as per Kelly Merrell, and through different avenues, this
A host of others. If you think you're the one that came up with this version of the drink, let us know.
in the comments below. This is the Krakatoa.
Shall we? It smells like burning. Get this in here somehow.
Wowee. You can definitely taste the citrus and the passion fruit syrup.
Passion fruit comes a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
Passion fruit kind of comes in the finish a bit, but I think this is just a really well-balanced drink.
It's light, refreshing, but also like a little bit of kind of dark notes from the coffee.
I think just enough. I actually think that if we were going to do this again, I would blend it for like 5 more seconds.
Oh.
I think.
Uh-huh.
I think it's a little bit sharp, but
You think the
disillusionment of the dilution, in my opinion, it's just still a little bit sharp.
So it needs
but
to be a
that
little
was-
watered down.
But that was our fault. No, not watered down. Diluted. You say watered down, and you're like, "Are you watering down my drink?" No, we're just gonna just shake it down a little bit more and just
Introduce a little more water.
Yes. But I love this drink. I think this drink is fantastic. If only we had another person here, perhaps a sophisticated woman with a sophisticated palate that could try this drink.
Yes.
Hey!
It just happens that Kelly Merrell's wife is a go-go dancer for the Hula Girls, and she's sitting right over here. Kiki, you want to come over here? What a fun surprise guest we have.
Hey!
Don't let the Hamilton Beach there block you.
Which one should I try? This one?
Not mine.
Okay.
Try that one.
We're not married.
No. Ooh. I taste the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I taste the cinnamon, but that was an added touch at the end.
Well, we did have cinnamon syrup in this also. So,
A little bit.
Yeah.
The cinnamon, you're getting a lot of cinnamon in the nose.
all up in that nose.
All up in that nose.
And that tangy citrus in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's pleasant.
It's not bad too.
Yeah.
And for a tiki drink that is this size with only 2 ounces of rum, I mean, you could have like 4 of these and still be like, all
I
right,
could still be drunk.
or you can still be drunk. But
4 of these?
But there's not.
the world?
I'm sorry. You host a show about making cocktails, and you're judging me about the amount of cocktails I may or may not drink.
Yes.
It is unusual for a tiki cocktail this size to only have 2 ounces of rum, but I don't miss it. I don't want it to be stronger. I think it tastes just fine the way it is.
My whole thing with tiki cocktails is I'm almost happier when there isn't as much rum because I'm excited about like the journey of tasting a bunch of different cocktails and not just like having 2 drinks and being like, oh great, now I'm wasted. Like a
Right.
jet pilot and a zombie or something.
Oh, God. Jet Pilot. Jet Pilot is part of my holy, trinity. So you can't have that. But there may or may not be a certain restaurant in San Diego that makes a very strong Mai Tai, and I don't want it to be that strong. If I wanted it to be that strong, I would ask you to just pour all the rum in a glass.
This is a good sipping drink. This is a good sit and relax and enjoy your time with your friends. Have good conversation. Good cocktail.
In our Hukilau episode, the live show that we did recently, where Garrett Richard was on the show, he said that the reason why the Mai Tai had like those gigantic snifters, there's a lot of rum in those, like the Mutiny and the Black Magic, but he said the reason why those drinks were so gigantic is because they don't want you like ordering more cocktails while the floor show is going on.
Oh,
I know, right?
That's actually a real. I mean, that kind of goes against revenue earning in a restaurant.
Kind of does.
But if you already know that they're going to spend X amount of money anyway, that actually makes sense. Besides, you serve a drink this big, you can charge more money for it, even though there's not more rum in it.
Totally.
Now we can have a whole episode of Spike's Breezeway about restaurant management. Maybe it's not going to be as appealing to your guests and to your viewers.
I would find it interesting, but also like people have been like, "Do you ever consult on like a bar program?" And I go, "What are you talking about? No experience with a bar program."
Well, you're an experienced bar patron. There's a lot to that. I wasn't even being sarcastic.
Yeah.
There's a lot to say about that. Here's what I've learned that people like me expect from a venue, and you're not it. And they say, "Shut up and drink your Coors Light." Matt.
Oh my God. Before we go, be sure to follow Kelly on Instagram at Old Man Merrell, and Kiki on Instagram at
Kiki Flambe.
Yeah. Folks, if you enjoy this, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and if you don't hit that subscribe button,
then...
And you're missing out on all the fun.
In this episode of Spike's... Where's the light? Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome... wait. Actually, why don't you come over here? No. I changed my mind. Stay there.
Real quick history, and intercut all the montage pictures at this point. Okay.
You're talking to my editor?
Yeah.
There you go, Jared. You're getting directions from Kelly Merrell now. What's your name? Carol Merrell?
Carol Merrell. Carol Merrell, by the way, was on Let's Make a Deal. And nobody remembers that anymore, but when I was younger, people said, "Oh, Carol Merrell from Let's Make a Deal." And I was like, what? My name's already Kelly. That's not enough, and now it has to be Carol?
Invariably, every time I have a
couple. We are going to do a very fun drink.
I said tonight.
Tonight. So tonight,
however you're watching. What do you need to bar students?
I go first check the...
Do that again. No, not that. Lime juice. Lime juice. Demerara 87. Demerara 86. Wait, hold on. What kind of... What are you drunk already?
Damn it, no. Get a paper towel.
Hey, Jared, we will do a bloopers reel at the end of this episode, so...
It'll be an hour long.
So pull all the funny shit. Thank you. I like being able to talk to my editor guy.
It's kind of fun. It wasn't that way last time.
I know. He's a nice guy. You'd like him.
Hi, Jared.
Wait, let's reiterate this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then there's a fucking airplane. Aren't you closed, John Wayne?
Yeah, no kidding. Really? Your microphones will pick that up?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
like rumbly.
Concise? Precise?
Precise. Take that off again.
Oh, okay. Should I introduce the second,
No.
the second run though?
We're using all of this.
Okay.
Oh my god.
What do I do it again?
Nah, I don't care anymore.
No, I do.
Oh, wait for the car. Okay.
My wife's sighing, looking at her phone.
Like, this is taking way too long. You got in your hand there, Kelly Merrell. Because there's about an ounce of lime juice per lime. Jesus.
Limes
Yeah.
is often a word I get hung up on as well.
How many more ingredients? This is taking forever.
200. 200 ingredients. Hey man, if it ain't 11 ingredients, it's not a tiki cocktail. Jokes? What's green and sings? Elvis Parsley.
Elvis Parsley.
If we were to film this entire thing over again, no.
If we had a female come and taste this cocktail.
A female? What do we work at a zoo? How about a pretty young lady?
Sure. A pretty young lady. And if you don't hit that subscribe button,
then I'll never be on the show again. And the light just turned on.
Oh my god. All right. That's all, folks.
That's terrible.